Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate and thank Jeff for the introduction. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here with the advocates on stage. As you said, the community is really big, and it's a pleasure for me to be on stage with 4 of them. Many of them, of the other ones, are here with me today and join us this weekend for the SmartCon, so really appreciate. And yeah, maybe we can start with the introduction. If you can share a little bit more about who you are, where you're from, and yeah, how you joined the Web3 industry. Maybe with you, Olivia?
Yeah, sure. Happy to start. My name is Olivia. I am with Project A Ventures, actually, a venture capital firm, but I'm also a passionate community advocate since 2 years. I'm leading the Berlin-based Chainlink community.
My name is Alex Turley. I run a company called MDMA. It's a Web3 marketing agency, and I'm also the community advocate for Atlanta.
Oh, good. My name is Daniela. I'm from Brazil. I am the head of market of an NFT DEX called Sweep and Flip. Now it's Brazil content creator and a Chainlink community advocate.
My name's Rosh Patel. I'm a community advocate in London, based out of London. I've been an advocate for just over 2 years now. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And yeah, just maybe to have a quick introduction on how you discover Web3, Chainlink, and the Advocates program. So maybe we start with you.
Sure. I found out about blockchain technology from the term dApps during the early Ethereum days, and the decentralization of apps is what sort of appealed to me. It obviously expanded into a broader range of how blockchains can work and function in real society, but that's sort of what first spiked my interest to read about it.
And when Chainlink appears in that journey?
And then Chainlink appeared when you understand that there is an Oracle problem, and Chainlink seeks to solve an Oracle problem of putting off-chain data onto the blockchain, and that was always the other aspect of if data can't correctly and verifiably be put on-chain, and it's wrong at the source or in transmission, then you're at a sort of stopping point somewhere along the line.
Cool. What about you, Daniel?
Yeah, I started professionally, so an NFT company hired me. And at first I was like, oh my God, NFTs, it doesn't make any sense. And I fell in love with this ecosystem. Now I'm here, DAO, DeFi crazy, Oracle's crazy. And Chainlink, I was invited by Jeff at a conference. He invited me to be a Chainlink advocate. I was already a huge fan of Chainlink, and I just said, yes, I'm totally in, and joined this amazing ecosystem.
I was serving at a bar on a lake and just making money, hustling as a young kid. And then I was on Twitter and saw the cash tag and ignored it at first. And then my friend sent it to me again. I was like, all right, let me look into this. So I started researching and sort of going into the partnerships and what exactly Chainlink does. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. So then I started a podcast with 2 other friends, and now 4. We had Darb, who's another advocate, was our editor. So that was amazing. And then Jamie, actually the East Coast events manager, invited me. He's like, do you want to run stuff in Atlanta? And at first I was hesitant because I'm not the best public speaker, or at least wasn't at first. And I just took the leap of faith, said yes, and it's been history ever since. So that's how I got into Chainlink.
Awesome. Yeah, it's something that is already great about when we talk about the community, is this collaboration between people. So you were able to create something with some other people, Darby, and you're still working with them now, so that's awesome.
Yeah, him and I, it's funny, we had like this, I refer to like anime when you're on the hero's journey. Like the 2 characters are just like building and building and building, and for the past 2 years, him and I have just built together and also built an amazing relationship. And I didn't even know him before I joined, crypto. So it's really cool. The Advocates program brings people together.
Awesome. And how about you?
Yeah, for me, I think definitely discovered the whole space 2 to 3 years ago, and came across Chainlink pretty soon when you want to understand what all these different protocols are trying to do. So I was really fascinated with that, and by following Chainlink on Twitter, I came across the Advocate program. So I feel like the program kind of found me rather than the other way around. It was great then to talk to Mark Romero, and he introduced me to the European community, and was able to then start the community in Berlin.
Yeah. Something that we can see already here on stage is that most of the time, the committee members start being advocates without the official title. They have an idea, they do it, and then we say, oh, we love what you do. Would you do that like officially as an advocate? And yeah, that's something really, really, really cool. And now, if we talk about like creating or building a community, I think it's something really important in Web3. We are really powerful at Chainlink with this community. What do you think about this important part of the community in the blockchain space?
Yeah, I can start. I mean, it's been in Berlin. It's been really amazing. First of all, to see the community grow from like, I don't know, like very small amount to like now we have more than 1,000 people. So it's been a really huge, tremendous, rewarding experience, and you get so many different profiles and developers and just enthusiasts and people who enrich the community from all sorts of different angles. Even if you come from Web 2, you have new ideas about what Web 3 can even, improve. So like there's this thing of like that the crowd like gets smarter the more diverse it is. So that's really like I think what we do with the community building. So we bring in a lot of different like knowledge and perspectives into the Web3 space. So I really enjoy that, and it's really rewarding also as an advocate to meet all these different people.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially in Web3 communities are like the bread and butter of any brand, right? Like you can have good tech, you can have good marketing, but if nobody is like constantly talking about your project or the tech, then it sort of like falls off into the wayside. As we know, like crypto's like goldfish attention span. Things just kind of come and go each day. So like building the community in Atlanta, it was really nice. Like the first event we had, 80 people showed up. And so like there was already people in Atlanta that like were interested, but there was nowhere to like host the event, or no one was hosting events, so that was nice to see. And then even online communities, we sort of like reinvigorated the Link Marines with the L-Toads, so it's like a community Link Marine NFT project, and we focus on building education for the build program. So it's been really nice seeing everybody come together, and I don't think like one person can be the community. It's obviously the group of people. So yeah.
Pretty cool. It's all about education also. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is to bring all the Brazilian community closer to Chainlink and explain what Chainlink really does. And they will be able also to explain Chainlink to the others. And in this way, I can grow the community in Latin America or in Brazil in general.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely about educating and informing and speaking to people. People always want to learn more, and you can still learn from other people, even if you know more than them in different aspects. So I've hosted events in London, and just turnouts in London have always been great, but you meet people and you can have fantastic conversations and just learn loads and loads of information from people. So that's probably why a lot of people are here as well, which is quite nice.
If it's all about community, just use the community, just talk to people, and yeah.
And what are the main opportunities or challenges that you can see in when we try to build a community in a decentralized industry, as here? I don't know, maybe Daniela?
Yeah, one challenge and also opportunity is to be able to teach something that you have learned last week, for example. So that's the highest point for me.
I would say democracy, because definitely with a DAO, it's like there's so many people that have differing opinions, and that's like the point of it, is to hear them all and then come to a conclusion that makes the most sense. So that's probably been the most difficult part, is like reading and like trying to understand and relate to a ton of different people that want a certain project to go a certain way, and like what is the best avenue for that, and then sort of agreeing to that and voting on it.
So, yeah. And maybe, I don't know if you, I know that Danny, you're already involved in many other DAOs too. I don't know if you want to share more about that.
About
like
DAOs? Okay, yeah. What I'm trying to do in Brazil is like weekly tutor spaces, and every week I try to bring DAOs closer to us. And my approach is like, okay, do you think you don't have anything to do with Chainlink? I will show you that you do, that you can build with Chainlink. So yeah, I'm trying to bring DAOs closer and other communities and some Web2 products and companies also, and talk about hackathons. That's my approach, because I think that everyone can build with Chainlink. You will find at some point a connection with Chainlink. Yeah.
And yeah, maybe, I don't know if you want to share the main success that you had as a community advocate, something that you created for your community or something worldwide.
And my Chainlink cupcakes, for sure.
The famous cupcakes, yeah. And you, Olivia?
Yeah, I think last year we hosted a lot of events. I think close to like 12, 13 events, and we almost had half of the speakers were women. It was pretty cool turnout, actually. Like in the end of the year, I like started counting, and I was like, wow, it's like maybe like 40% female speakers, and that was really cool result. I think of a lot of sourcing work for really interesting speakers, but of course also a push to showcase that visibility and to give that transparency also to women in the space. So yeah, that was a really cool kind of statistic.
I definitely think it would be sort of building the blockchain space in Atlanta. It was, like I said, sort of siloed communities, and Chainlink connects chains, connects oracles, dons, etc. And so I thought of it as like, why don't we just take all these siloed communities and just start hosting events and sort of form. There was like 4 different groups, and now we just have one large group chat, and it's we push each other's events, sort of just like building the city up rather than building siloed communities. So that's been going good, and we're actually hosting an event next month called Web3 ATL as a part of 404 Down. I can go into that if you'd like, but so it's very cool.
Yeah, so if you're in Atlanta, just join him next
If you're in Atlanta, hit me up. I'll let you know.
And the cupcakes, anything else?
Yeah, the cupcakes, for sure. Social media, local social media growth, weekly Twitter spaces, and when I taught Chainlink to a masterclass in Brazil, and to 100 of teenagers, and they were very, very interested about Chainlink. So it was amazing. Yeah.
I have helped host numerous meetups last year and also this year with a few other London advocates as well. Recently, I've hosted a few Twitter spaces with some build projects related to that gaming. I haven't done anything like cupcakes. Cupcakes sound nice. But no, most of what I do is sort of online and in-person meetups. So it's always nice to sort of meet people and speak to people.
Yeah. You said that you had like 50% of the speakers that were women.
Like 40, yeah.
Yeah. And what are the opportunities you see, or what kind of strategy do you see in Web3 with this diversity? It's decentralized, so I don't know if you saw other like strategy by Chainlink or other project in Web3.
You mean like what we can achieve with that?
Yeah, with this diversity.
Yeah, like I think it's just a very strong sign towards women in general that there's this new industry relatively that can be like now like populated also with new ideas, with a lot of diversity, and if we come in early, then we can make space. To bring in our ideas, and I'm very, very proud of that. And it's been so great to see also women that have been really in the industry for like 10 years, like since like kind of everything became really big. And there's a lot of knowledge also and a lot of mentorship for women, among women, in the Web3 space, and especially in the Berlin like Web3 community, right? Chainlink is one of the communities in Berlin, but like we have also there are other like female Web3 like communities, DAOs, and so on, and we kind of like all like talk to each other and make each other really strong. And like I'm just very glad that with the Chainlink meetups we're able to give a stage to these women, but also just like you said it the other day, right? Like it's you can talk about diversity a lot, but the best thing for diversity is if you just like have a very content-driven talk or a very like technical-driven like workshop by women for women and so on, rather than always talking about like diversity. Of course, it's important, but the doing is much more important. So I'm really happy just to see so many women actually being so curious about the technology and making it then like driving the diversity through it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I don't want to talk about how it's to be a woman in Web3. I want to be a woman in Web3, You can ask me about oracles, data feeds, functions, everything. You know how to answer you. And what I'm doing right now is try to invite women to talk about tech part. The most famous Twitter spaces in Brazilian community is about the hackathon, and it was a girl explaining everything about the hackathon. It was amazing.
Was this launch?
Is what?
Was this launch?
Launch?
Solange. Solange?
No, not Solange, unfortunately. But she's awesome. She's amazing. It was Sabrina. She won the hackathon, the spring hackathon. It was awesome. Yeah.
maybe what's your role as an advocate when we talk about educating people? Rush, maybe the educational part around blockchain.
Yeah. I think you need to first understand how technical-minded someone is before you start talking to them about blockchain technology, smart contracts, etc., etc. But you could go down a path of beginner 101, and then I'm far from an expert, but we could more a technical conversation. So you can always progress a conversation with whoever you are, wherever you are, and different people. Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
Just like what I've done to help with education, or
Like more globally, how education is important for us as an advocate.
Oh,
and
actually, yeah.
How you can support the new joiners.
Yeah. So I hosted a CCIP event in Atlanta like last month, and it was for blockchain Georgia Tech students. And so I was like, okay, computer science school, they'll know, what blockchain is. They didn't know what MetaMask was. They didn't know what the Block Explorer was. They didn't know what a blockchain was. We were teaching about CCIP, so I was like, oh crap. So we're coming up with like a 10-week course for all the students at Georgia Tech if they'd like to participate. It's basically beginner to, you can code your own dApps, staking applications, use CCIP, etc. So that should be coming out soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I'll take that as a input. I think in Germany we also partner more with educational. We want to partner more with educational institutions to host more workshops and just take a very pragmatic approach at education. But as you say, like we sometimes being in the industry so deeply, we can sometimes forget that a lot of people might not know some of the basics. So it's always important to kind of like go back to that. So definitely. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, and I remember that you said that you make some meetups in universities.
Oh, yes. In universities, to 18-year-old students, and they were very, very interested. It was amazing because it means that we are building the next generations of builders. So, yeah.
I think that's something that changed recently for the Chainlink community, but we really want to reach the universities, students, young people, and to educate them like from a professional way. So that's really cool. And yeah, maybe for the next year, what are you the most excited about? As an advocate?
I think the education, really. Like I'm very much looking forward to meeting a lot of young people and kind of like hearing also what like they're excited about. And then Chainlink has obviously launched a lot of great new features and products. So kind of like talking about the use cases of that will be really pretty nice.
Yeah, I think hosting more events locally and just like getting the beginner knowledge up and then into intermediate, and then also I used to create sort of like content about Chainlink services. So I'll probably get back to that. I stopped for a while, but just more like deep dives and from like beginner to really understanding what the technology does.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the new products, to learn about the new products and also talk about the new products. That's what I want to do because Chainlink unites two passions of mine, teaching and Web3. So.
I'd like to host a few more in-person meetups, but also online discussions, Twitter Spaces, even like a YouTube Live where you could have a demonstration purpose for specific people, specific elements, and whatnot. That's what I'm sort of looking forward to doing next year. That should be quite fun.
Yeah, you have a lot of work in the next few days, weeks, months with every announcement from Kemal yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of announcements. He was like announcing data streams, and then functions, and then automation 2.0 was like, okay, it's okay. And then more and more.
Yeah, it's like a 30-minute talk. I just kept taking pictures.
Yeah, exactly. It was so cool. It was so nice. Yeah, the product team is just rocking it. Yeah. It's awesome.
But I would also like to add, like, I'm looking forward to growing also the like advocate team in Berlin. Like right now we're like 3, but like we're just like onboarding, new advocates, and hope to like grow the team there because like it's really it is really about teamwork, right? I think teamwork. If you're an advocate on your own, like have like really a lot of respect because it can be really a lot of work, to be honest, and like I think it's really important for every advocate, if you're able to set up like a little team, if you can find other people from the community who want to support, like it just becomes like a much more rewarding experience. So I'm very much looking forward to that also.
Yeah, that's something crazy for the community advocates is that for like Rush and you, Olivia, you have like a team, you are money advocates, but for most of them, they are alone in the city.
Yeah.
And you're just doing like something crazy because you manage everything.
I mean, there's a lot of support from the community online, right? Like, it's not like you're completely alone, but like, it's like, of course, on the ground, it's different.
Yeah. And that's crazy. I think like I was an advocate before joining the company, so I was one of them during 2 years a few years ago. And I know that like if you want to make a meetup, you have to do everything. So we support you. So Chainlink supports you, but you're the one on the ground, and you did an amazing job. So that's huge.
Well, I want to say,
yeah.
But Chainlink has been really great about that. Like I said, when Jamie sort of asked me if I wanted to lead Atlanta, I said yes, but he gave me all the resources and sort of just entrusted in me that I was going to do a good job, and I did in the end. And I think that's really cool that Chainlink is just there as sort of a support role, right? Like just go educate people if you like the technology, which obviously if you're an advocate, you do. And yeah, so just thank you to Chainlink for everything.
So, yeah. And yeah, maybe what advice would you give to someone that wants to be more involved in Web3 as an advocate or maybe just as a community member?
Yeah, sure. So I would definitely find a local community and try to find, like, people who have the same interests. And if there's no local community, start like a little meetup, like even if you just meet for some drinks or so and start talking about the topic. I think one of the first meetups I went to also in Berlin was from a DAO, and then like they had like questions printed out, and it was like, what's your favorite coin? Like, what's your like favorite blockchain? And it was like, this is like so adorable. But like these kind of things that happen, and it was a very memorable experience for me. So yeah, definitely.
I would say +1. Yeah, just get involved.
Yeah, we're here every single day talking about community, the power of community. So use this community, like text the people, send direct messages, and talk. You know, go to events and start to talk with people. Definitely.
I say do it. Just go for it. Even if you're shy, quiet, attend, because you will meet 1 or 2 people, and you'll just have a common interest, because that's the reason why you've gone to the place in the first place. So just do it. Go.
I would also add that it opens so many doors that you don't think could be opened. So it's like if you want a job in the space or even think that you want a job in the space, just take the first step. It's kind of like anxious and nerve-wracking at first, but you meet a lot of cool people and you build relationships and learn a lot. So.
Yeah. And content is available for free.
Yeah.
You can have access to everything. So
yeah,
just do it. Just do it and join us as an advocate.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sponsored
Thank you so much for joining us.